Ok, so bonjour, bonsoir tout le monde. J'espère que vous allez bien. On est déjà jour 5. Alors, ce qu'on va essayer de faire, c'est de vous montrer un petit peu tout ce qui est question au niveau baccalauréat et tout ce qui est, on va écrire un email pour tous ceux qui sont au brevet, ok? So we're going to write an email for the junior cert, but we're going to start with the leaving cert, and I might start with the junior cert tomorrow, so to whiz things around a little bit. But for this evening anyway, I'm going to start with the leaving cert. First thing I'm going to say to you is we're going to be working from, so just to let you know, we're going to be working from the 2019 paper, and we're going to be looking at the questions that were asked from the first comprehension of this paper. Okay, so before we get into it, I'm going to tell you, maybe just explain a little bit about the reading comprehensions and how important I suppose they are. So first and foremost, they carry the most amount of marks between the two of them. They account for 30% of your total mark in the leaving cert. Okay, so that's huge. It's 120 marks between the two. They are quite okay, as in the French in them is quite difficult, but I think the key is to get the questions. If you understand the questions, you really are pretty much all the way there. And then it's just a question of how do you answer? Do you use direct quotation or do you use manipulation? And to be honest with you, I'm going to go through all that with you, so don't worry about that, okay? So the first thing I want to say to you is when you're doing your questions, you've got to remember that in English or French or whatever, questions are divided into two categories, okay? You have a closed question or an open question. Now, if I were to say to you, are you wearing a blue jumper? You will either answer me yes, no, maybe, or I don't know. Okay, there are only a couple of possible answers for a closed question. A closed question means that the conversation can't go any further. Okay, and in French, how you'll know it's going to be a closed question, it's going to start with est-ce que, and how that's spelled is the est/ceque, right? Est-ce que. And what that actually means in English is it that? Now, of course, we don't speak like that anymore, but it's just to show you what it means, okay? So, for example, is it that she likes going to town on a Saturday? So, est-ce qu'elle aime aller en ville le samedi? So, does she like to do something? Is it that she likes it? Okay, so that's important, that you need to understand the est-ce que and what it actually means. Then if I want more information, I'm going to put QU apostrophe in front of that est-ce que. Now I really should start getting little sheets so you'll know what I'm saying. But look, this is all kind of new to me as well. So I will improve, I'll ripen with age. So it should get better as we go. All right. The qu'est-ce que then, if you're asking a qu'est-ce que question, it's an open question and you could give me any answer. So for example, qu'est-ce que tu aimes faire le samedi? Qu'est-ce que tu aimes faire? I have no idea what you like to do on a Saturday. So it's an open question. I'm going to receive then the information from you. Okay. Now in the leaving cert for these, right? So we're going to turn to the first comprehension and I'm just going to go through the questions that came up for the first comprehension, just to show you, and we'll go through them, and I'll explain a little bit about the questioning and how it's working and how they use it. Okay, so I'm just going to show you. Some of you may or may not have the thing in front of you, but if I do this, I hope you could see. God, as I said before, I'm left-handed. Quel est le rôle de Lucie? Quel est le rôle? So that quel, that QUEL means what? And normally, okay, it's not always the case because you have, for example, you've different ways. But for example, quel is what is. Now, le rôle is masculine, so quel is spelled QUEL. I'm actually going to maybe type up something after this and put it in as an attachment. I did that on after yesterday's live stream. I did a thing on describing your house for junior certs, and then I put in a thing afterwards. Okay, I actually didn't get around to it until this morning. But anyway, I might do the same. What I might do is just type out these to show you. Okay, so for the moment, just listen because, you'll pick up a bit. So, quel est le rôle de Lucie in this article? So, what is Lucie's role? Right? So, quel, Q-U-E-L, that's an important one. What's also important to realize with quel is there are 4 forms to it. So, you've the Q-U-E-L for the masculine. If we're talking about a feminine thing, it would be Q-U-E-L-L-E. So Q-U-E-L-L-E, the 2 L's. If it's more than one masculine, it would be Q-U-E-L-S. But be careful, if it is quelle, then if it's masculine plural, it's quels sont. So be careful that everything has to agree. And then Q-U-E-L-L-E-S, if it's more than one, that's feminine. All right? So the second question that we're going to come up with quite a lot is relever l'expression qui veut dire. So I'm going to try and show that to you. Oh my God, again, left-handed. It's the bane of my life, right? Do you see that number 2 there? Relever l'expression qui veut dire. So that means, relever means pick out the expression which means, okay? Literally, qui veut dire, which wants to say. All right, so another way of saying, right, or a way of saying. Trouver, in the third one, it's trouver le mot auquel le pronom en italique il se réfère. Now, I'm going to show you that again, because that's a really important one. Oh gosh, me and my sense of direction. You see there, trouver le mot auquel le pronom italique il se réfère. That comes up a lot, right? So find the word to which the pronoun in italics refers to, right? Very easy way of doing that. When you're dealing with a pronoun, when they ask to find a pronoun in a word for a pronoun, all you do is look for the pronoun, and they always give you the pronoun. Here it's il, and you look for, because it's il, you're going to look for the last singular word. And it obviously will be a noun because a pronoun takes the place of noun. That's how you find it, okay? So it's like if I walked into a classroom and said it was okay, and people are kind of going, "What are you talking about?" I would have to explain maybe the film was okay. Then I can then say it, because we all know that it's the film. It's the very same thing in French. If you're looking for a pronoun, just go back and look at the last noun in the gender that the pronoun is in. And here, because it's il, it's obviously going to be a masculine gender that you're looking for. Okay? So if we turn the page, all right? Now, this is important. In fact, gosh, the way I'm going on, everything is actually important. But you see here, here, selon. I'm definitely going to type these out bigger because this is ridiculous. Selon la deuxième section. That selon is important. It means according to. So according to the second section, what they do is they give you 4 different choices and one of them has to be right, okay? It's not like a trick that they're all wrong, and that the examiner is going to be like, haha, they're looking for stuff. No, of course not. If they give you 4 options, one of them is correct. If you haven't the slightest notion, do you know what? You have a 25% chance of getting it right. 1 in 4 of getting it right. So don't leave a blank. In fact, don't leave a blank on any part of the questions, right? The answers to the questions. You may just stumble upon the right answer. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you a tiny bit after this about the length of the questions and direct quotation as regards manipulation and all that. Okay, so bear with me, please. I won't spend too long on this, right? Donnez un exemple. Donnez un exemple. So give an example, right? They're looking for a tangible thing there. Donner, give. To give an example. Citez l'expression qui signifie. Citez l'expression qui signifie. Do you see that? Citez l'expression qui signifie. That basically is the same as state the expression which means. Okay, it's the same kind of thing as we saw earlier with it was relever l'expression qui veut dire. All right, same kind of thing. D'après, yeah. You see here they're being cute, right? They're saying d'après, right? Do you know that word d'après? Right, d'après means, I'm gonna actually probably get good at this, but not for the moment. But I will. D'après means according to as well. So we have selon up here. Oh God. Selon is up here and d'après is down there. And they both mean according to. 2 different ways of saying according to. All right. And then again, we have quel est. Quel est l'avantage? What is the advantage? And comment. C-O-M-M-E-N-T. That is used a lot. I find them a lot in the Leaving Cert papers, right? Comment means how, all right? But how can a user help, right? So you see the way they've done that. They've stuck in a modal verb here. Oh God, I'm going backwards again. Oh, what am I doing? Peut, right? P-E-U-T, that's from the verb pouvoir, right? So comment un utilisateur peut-il aider? All right, so all of us as well. I'll do modal verbs actually. Maybe might do them tomorrow evening actually, and they'd be good for Leaving Cert and Junior Cert. So I could do the Facebook live stream for all of you together, just the one that'll suit both, right? Whenever it's grammar, I'll do it to suit both of you. Anyway, they would be your questions, okay? Now, those type of questions come up all the time. My advice is get your copybook, right? Get a French copybook and divide it and put a section in. I do this with my students the whole time, right? I'm forever saying, now there's your next division, there's your next division, there's your next, and they're well used to me now. And they do it, in fairness to them, they do it. So I would say to you, have a division in your copybook and call it Leaving Comprehension Questions, right? Because there are only about, I'd say a maximum of about 20 different ways of them asking you questions, okay? So you might as well have it all. Now, a really important thing, students want to know, do they lose marks if they write too much, okay, for the question? You see, my problem with that is, if I said in one of the questions, it says, for example, citez l'expression qui signifie. So state the expression which means whatever they're asking, okay? And you only have to write exactly the expression. You don't have to write the words around it, and you don't have to write the words after it. So my whole thing on that is, look at, I've seen girls write way too much, right? Boys generally, and I teach all boys and I'm very fond of them and all the rest of it, but they will do the least amount possible to gain maximum marks, which is fair enough, and they're very good at it, right? Boys tend to do well in these because they will only give what the examiner is asking, right? Whereas girls will tend to give you, they kind of try and fill it out and make it really beautiful and lovely and well presented and everything. But sometimes they write too much. And then you have the right answer in it, but then that might lead somebody to go, did they really know, or were they chancing their arm writing the whole thing? So I would say keep your answers brief, okay? Keep them brief. Try where possible to just give them what they want, okay? Also, would I quote directly, or would I do manipulation? Manipulation is, for example, if I said Mary went to the shop, right? For example, it says in the text, Mary, elle va au supermarché tous les samedis. So she goes to the supermarket every Saturday. And then in the text it says, what does Mary do? And you could quote by Mary va au supermarché tous les samedis. Elle, okay, would be kind of, dans le texte, Mary, elle va au supermarché. Okay, that wouldn't be a great one because you're using the same verb. So let me think another one. Je veux, oh yeah, let's say it was something like Mary said, je veux avoir 2 kilos de pommes, s'il vous plaît. So I want 2 kilos of apples, please. Marie dit qu'elle veut 2 kilos de pommes. So you have to do the quelle and the LD and L whatever, and you're mixing yourself up. Where possible, use direct manipulation, okay? The final thing that I want to say for the comprehensions, and I'll be doing more of them over the next couple of weeks, right? Question 6. Huge amount of confusion about question 6. What I would say is, you know the way in English you do PQE, which is, isn't it? No, yeah, it is. It's make your point, quote, and explain, right? In French, it's just PQ is what I would do, right? I would say either write your point in English, then use a quotation from the text to support it, or if you want to say it completely in English and you will still get the same amount of marks, right? You could say in the third section, it says very clearly that blah, 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 blah. And that shows the examiner that you understand the text, okay? So that is it for the Leaving Certs. Please just let me know if this is useful and all the rest of it. I'm going to go on now and write an email with the Junior Certs. Those of you doing ordinary level Leaving Cert, you might like to hang around. In fact, you might like to hang around full stop, because a lot of the time the mistakes that are made by Leaving Cert candidates are not the real difficult subjunctive and pronouns and indirect and direct, simple things, right? So this might be handy for you, all right? So we're working from the email from, again, we're still on the sample paper, okay? The French sample paper as was sent out by the State Examinations Commission, okay? And we're going to look at the written section. We're still on the written section. We're going to look at question 18, which is the email, right? Now, I just want you to take a look at that, okay? Look at all the stuff that they're looking for, right? You have to make, you have to write an email, right? And you have to cover all of these, right? So they're saying, comment as-tu voyagé? How did you travel? Passé composé. Où est-ce que tu loges? Où est-ce que tu te loges is your present tense. Where are you staying? And it's actually reflexive, which makes it even more fun. Quel temps fait-il en Nouvelle-Calédonie? What is the weather like? Weather always comes up. Weather, so important. Quelles sont les activités que tu fais tous les jours? Sorry, I'm trying to read this kind of backwards. And that would be your activities, which again is really, really important. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes le plus? I'm saying you're using superlative, comparative, if you want, but it's just what do you like the most? Qu'est-ce que tu n'aimes pas? What do you not like? Then you're using negative. And quels sont tes projets pour le weekend? So that's future. In one of the questions, they have packed in present, past, future, superlative, negative, just in one task for the junior cert. So what I have done, now I don't want you to worry too much about this. I'll type up something for you just to kind of get the main points, okay? Obviously, there'll be a full thing with all explanations and everything on the website. But look, what I'll be doing is, look, I'll be showing you here and we'll go through it, right? So the first thing is, how did you travel, okay? So it's an email. Now, they haven't asked that you respect any kind of format, but I'm going to show you the format anyway, because it is important, okay? Now, I've only written this much so far. I've written, right, you have who are you writing to. I'm saying Susie Gray, 7@aircom.net or at gmail.com. Doesn't really matter. I just made that up. I don't know any Susie Gray. Le sujet is your subject, and I'm just saying my holidays. And you could have another line under there to say de, meaning from, and you could put your own email or a fictitious one. Don't use your real one. Use fictitious always for state exams, okay? So you start off, do you remember the postcard? If your teacher ever did postcards with you or letters or anything, same thing, right? They've called them emails, they're calling them blogs, they're calling them whatever. The French language hasn't changed. It's the very same. Whatever you've learned from first year to now, believe me, your teachers know they are teaching you the correct stuff. They're teaching you French, okay? They're teaching you written expression. So don't worry about the format, because we're going to show you the format. The format is a small part. The main part is your grammar. The main part is your language, okay? The rest of it is just form. Like I could say, could you fill in a form for this? Let's say as an adult, fill in your passport, fill in your driving license, fill in your whatever. They're still looking for the same information, but different forms, okay? And it's the very same for this. So don't go worrying yourselves over it, okay? Just try and learn your verbs in the present, the past, and the future. And I promise you, if you even learn them in those three tenses for the junior cert, you'll fly it, okay? You really will. And we might put up, over the next few days, I might do lists of verbs that I consider really important, okay? Because they're the kind of things that students need to be focusing on. Not, oh, maybe I won't be able to do it, or how do you do an email, how do you do whatever. Even if you don't know the format, don't worry. Look at the questions and try and learn how they're asking it. Then we'll be fine, okay? So I always start, you're talking to a friend, so you can use salut, right? Salut or bonjour, whichever you want, okay? Could you use cher? You can if you want. It's a little bit formal. I'd say salut is actually fine, all right? Because it's to a friend. We all did this for the letter or the postcard going back over the years. Me voici en vacances. You give the name of the place, en Nouvelle-Calédonie avec ma famille. So here I am on holidays in Nouvelle Caledonia with my family. Don't worry, I'll type this up so you're not to get excited about trying to write it down, okay? Je m'amuse beaucoup. I'm having a nice time. So look, you have 1, 2, 3, you have 7 points, right, that you have to cover, okay? And this is the space they give you, right? They give you loads of space, right? So I'm just going to number them 1 to 7. I'm obviously going to write a little bit more than a typical student will do. And I wouldn't worry about that either, okay? I've been doing French so long now that I think it's about time I should be able to learn. Okay, so I say that's my kind of opening, and it's nice to give an opening, right? So then my first point is, how did you travel? So boom, straight away they're in with the passé composé. You have to get your verb right here. So I said that we traveled by plane, right? So we take prendre un avion is to take a plane, right? And it's nous avons pris l'avion de Dublin. Nous avons pris. Remember your passé composé. I'm going to do a separate live stream on the passé composé. It's the one tense that upsets students an awful lot, right? Present tense is fine, future tense is fine. Passé composé, for some reason, creates desperate issues for people. So I will go and do it for you, I promise you. All right? And then it says, where are you staying? Straight into present tense, not a bother on them. Nous logions dans un bel hôtel tout près de la mer. Now, 2 or 3 things here, right? If you look at that, it says, there we have it. Nous logions, look at the way it's spelled. There's an irregularity in the spelling, which is completely normal because you have to have that with that type of verb. It's the same with manger, okay? Dans un bel hôtel. Have you ever seen that? Oh, I can't do this with, yeah. Have you ever seen that bell there, B-E-L? That's one of the irregular, because hotel starts with a H. Any word starting with a H or a vowel, there are 3 or 4 of them. There's belle, there's vieux, there's, je sais plus. I know there's 1 or 2 others. They'll come to me, but there's a couple of them that are irregular, okay? Nouvelle is another one, and I'll get the other one. I think there's 3, is there? Vieux, belle, vieux, beau, and nouveau. I think that's it, but look, we'll check. There could be 1 more, but I think there's only 3. Anyway, nous logeons dans un hôtel, un bel hôtel, tout près de la mer, quite close to the sea, rather than using à côté de. Now, if you use à côté de, I'm delighted. Brilliant. Happy days. But there we are. Tout près de la mer, quite near the sea, right? So there's your second one. Then they ask, quel temps fait-il en Nouvelle-Calédonie? Lads, to be honest with you, weather will always come up. It will always come up. Cover weather, know your weather. It's so important. And remember, weather is, I always say that verbs, okay, and I'm kind of going off stream again or off tangent again, but there are 4 main verbs, right? And I call them the royal family. The king is être, the queen is avoir, you've Prince aller and Princess faire. And Princess faire is really important. She is in charge of all like sports and stuff like that, and she's also in charge of the weather. So she's really, really important. So I would learn the verb faire inside out in every tense. And I would do the same with être, the same with avoir, and the same with aller. I really would. They're so, so important. They're my 4. They're my royal family of verbs, okay? Then there's quite a few other important ones, but they're my 4 royal ones, right? So I said here, il fait un temps merveilleux et il fait très chaud. So the weather is fabulous and it's very hot. You can say whatever you like about the weather, right? Then it says, quelles sont les activités que tu fais tous les jours? So what are the activities that you do every day? Again, faire again, right? So you can get away with just using faire. Je fais de la natation. Je joue, okay, I'm going to talk about you in a minute. Je fais de la planche à voile. Whatever you want to say using faire. But then what you need to do is, you could say je fais du vélo, I do cycling. Jouer is another important word, right? Another important verb. Je joue au volley. So remember that jouer takes a in when you're saying playing sport, playing team sport, it's jouer à. And by the way, for individual sport, it's faire de. Faire de, jouer à, faire de. Jouer à, faire de. We'll go over that again. And je visite les sites touristiques. I visit tourist sites, right? The fifth one says, qu'est-ce que tu aimes le plus? What do you like the most? So maybe I'm not too hot on the superlative, or maybe I'm not great on my comparatives, but what I am okay on is I could say the word surtout, I especially like. That's a nice way. And this surtout is an important word. So again, go back to your copy, have a division for really important words, okay? So I said here is, j'adore le paysage, which is the scenery, et j'aime surtout me baigner dans la mer. I especially like, right? Swimming, me baigner dans la mer. I really like me baigner dans la mer. Then it says, what do you not like? Qu'est-ce que tu n'aimes pas? Je n'aime pas la nourriture, right? Now, I don't like the food. That's a pretty common thing that you'd find people saying when they're on holidays. They don't like the food. Les gens d'ici mangent trop de fruits de mer. So people d'ici, do you see that D apostrophe ICI? That means from here, okay? Or you could just leave it les gens. Just les gens, it's fine. People mangent trop de fruits de mer. And look at your expression of quantity is too much. And it's always an expression of quantity is followed by TE. That'd be another important grammar rule. See how many grammar rules, and we're only doing one little email, right? And then finally, it says, what are your plans for the weekend? Quels sont tes projets pour le weekend? This is one worth learning because you know what? You're going to be asked the same thing in the oral for the Leaving Cert. So what are your plans for the weekend? Get yourself a couple of the future tense verbs. Really important, okay? So watch what I wrote there. I said, ce weekend, nous irons, we will go, nous irons au restaurant pour l'anniversaire de ma mère. For my mother's birthday, we will go to the restaurant for my mother's birthday. Lads, to be honest with you, you could write whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Because it's really up to you. It's your letter, your email, you know, just stick with the guidelines, okay? Now, finally, what I want to draw your attention to this evening is I have received really lovely messages from people. I am delighted that this is helping you. You know, I'm going to continue doing this because I enjoy doing it, okay? It's just my way of helping students. On my own, in my own school, in the CBS on Saxon Street, we use Edmodo for our students. So we send our students work to do every day. Well, every day, maybe we gave today off. I didn't, of course, I gave them work, but that's the way I roll, basically. So I still gave them work. I'm sure a lot of people gave you the day off today, but look, I'm sure your schools are doing an awful lot to help. I'm doing what I can through the medium that I can. And the other thing is, would you consider looking at our blog? Okay, especially for those of you that are doing the Leaving Cert. So if you go on to FrenchNotes.ie, go onto the blog, you'll find a lot of useful sentences and bits and pieces. And in both the Junior and the Leaving Cert section of French Notes, there are free resources for you to download. Okay, obviously, yes, there is a membership as well, but you can go quite nicely with between the Facebook Lives and going on to that. And then if you do wish to join you'll find seriously loads and loads of stuff. Okay, listen, merci beaucoup, merci de m'avoir écouté. Laissez-moi vos commentaires, vos suggestions, leave me your comments, your suggestions. Remember, we're also on YouTube and I'm on Instagram, I'm on Snapchat a little bit, not too much, but a lot on Instagram. So listen, merci encore et à demain soir. Merci et partagez-le, s'il vous plaît. Please share. Merci beaucoup.